So the abuse started, it didn't stop. It just got worse. So when my son and I went to Jamaica, he was just a few months old. I was beaten on 2 occasions on that trip. Just like while I was pregnant, I was beaten 2 times. His brother had a girlfriend there, and she was telling me things as well, that was contradicting some things that he would tell me. I was just really annoyed of him, and he wanted me to come to bed. My son and I were in the living room. He came out in the living room and said for me to come to bed, like the baby's falling asleep, so come to bed. And I'm like, I'm not tired yet. If you're tired, then you take your son and you guys go to bed. I'm going to continue to watch TV. I'm a grown-ass woman living on my own, making my own money, have a baby. I come to Jamaica for a man to tell me that it's my bedtime and turn the TV off on me and tell me to come to my bed. And when I don't want to, he punches me in my face. I was sitting down at this point holding my son, and he proceeded to punch me in my face. And when I put my son down to fight back, he started to drag me and get more aggressive and do more things to hurt me. His brother and girlfriend came out the room and was like, trying to part it and whatever. And at that point, I just couldn't sleep. I ended up packing up my stuff and going to the Hilton Resort. So I went to the Hilton Resort with my son. I had an old friend come and pick me up. And when we got to the resort, the lady put the wristband on me and also on my friend because the reservation showed for 2 people. And she just assumed he was a part of the 2 people and not my baby. I wasn't going to tell her that I didn't pay for him, that I only really paid for one person because a baby is free. But on the reservation, it said 2 people. And she was looking at the reservation because it hadn't actually gone through onto her system. She was just looking at the confirmation email. So I allowed my friend to come to my room and help me bring my bags upstairs, and he kept me company. He got me weed, and we ate together and had good conversation. He actually had recently gotten shot, so he was limping and stuff. So I was just talking about him, about that whole experience, and telling him, you should really look into talking to someone. And, I know that it could be really traumatizing and stuff. And in our community as melanated people, we don't talk enough about things. He helped me by watching my son while I would go in the shower. And, he would bring me food to the room because I really didn't feel like getting out of my bed because I was depressed about my baby father continuously putting hands on me and beating me. So anyways, I ended up leaving and going to his mother's house. And from his mother's house, I went to my aunt's house. And from my aunt's house, I went back to his house. I went to his mother's house because she didn't get to really spend time with her grandson, and I didn't really feel like she needed to not see him or be punished in any way by not seeing him, so I allowed her to spend time with him. And also because the ticket that I had, it was changeable and the fee was very low, and it didn't really matter to me because I wasn't doing anything because I was staying home with the baby, whether I was in Jamaica or in Canada. Anyways, so when I ended up at his house, he ended up going through my phone and seeing that I went to the resort and that my friend, a male friend, was also on the resort with me and slept in the room with me on a separate bed. But he didn't even need to stay there. He has his own place very close by to the resort. He was really just staying there to keep me company. And, I was appreciating having someone there as well. And he's just a friend, nothing more. At the time, my belly was supposed to be going down because I had just had my son, but it was actually getting bigger because I was actually pregnant with my daughter, unconfirmed, but it was clear that I was pregnant. Anybody could look at me and see that. So anyways, I ended up back at his house. He looked through my phone. I was in the shower, and the way his shower is, he can lock the outside of it. The door could be locked on the outside and the inside. So he locked me in the shower. And when I told him, I'm done showering, stop playing games, I want to come out the shower, And he kept asking me some question over and over. Honestly, I can't remember the question, but I think it was like, who was I at the resort with or something? And I was like, it's none of your business, because if you didn't punch me in my face and fight me while I was holding my son, then I would have never left. I didn't see how it was relevant who I went to the resort with to him, because he was abusing me. He beat me while I was holding my son. And if you didn't do that, then I would have never left. I would have had no reason to leave. So stop questioning. But because he could do no wrong in people's eyes, he just kept asking me, and he grew upset when I wouldn't respond, because he has issues with respect and thinking he's all macho, and he's a manipulator, and he doesn't really understand when he's wrong. He just sees what the other person did wrong, not what he did wrong. So he didn't care that he punched me in my face. He just cared that I left and I went on a resort with a man. At this point, I was just like, listen, like, I'm done having this conversation. I'm not answering you anymore. Just like unlock the door so I can come out. So he unlocked the door and he just started swinging hands. He started punching me, kicking me. Me and him were going at it, fighting. I think I had closed the door in his head, and I was fighting him back. Like, I was really fighting him back. And at that point, he got more angry and reached under his bathroom sink for a screwdriver. And that's when he stabbed me here.